Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Marina at Radio Works with my wonderful, beautiful, my hero, co-host Adrienne Marks from London. Adrienne, I'm so excited. I just used your magic cocktail, the Manuka coconut oil, and I feel that I left so much of heavy years behind me just simply drinking your cocktail twice a day.
It is amazing. The coconut oil is just as I said, is just so incredible. I've started using it to clean my teeth now, and as a mouthwash, and as a body lotion, cream. I just use it all the time for absolutely everything. And it's like magic. It's just, and it's delicious. So while you're putting the oil on as a body lotion, you could actually sort of, start tasting some as well. I mean, it's just wonderful stuff. But with the honey and the cinnamon and vanilla, it is so delicious. I mean, I told you, I've just made it. You're supposed to put it in coffee, but
Actually, I do because
yes,
I gave up on Starbucks long ago. Uh, it was a good place to, when you travel, sometimes you don't have internet access. So I'm really grateful for them providing, the connection I badly
yes,
needed at the time. But I stopped drinking their coffee. So now I drink herbal tea and I really miss the tea. So, the coffee element.
yes.
But if you go to them with your recipe, with your magic recipe, I'm sure they will listen. They will have me as a
maybe
client again.
maybe they will, because apart from anything else, it doesn't make the coffee cold, and it's very good for you because it's got coconut oil, it's got manuka honey, it's got vanilla and cinnamon, and all those things are really, really good for you. But it doesn't make your coffee cold. I don't drink coffee, and I haven't drunk coffee for a long time. I drink herb teas, but I will have that mixture just as a sweet. I mean, it's just so delicious, and I just mix it all up, and it is just so delicious and so very good for you. And you say you're now having it about twice a day, but
Yes,
you know
yes.
the thing is, if you're having it all the time, because I mean, Starbucks and the other coffee chains are really good for meeting people in, and as you say, for Wi-Fi. And I'm sure there must be a lot of people who are not drinking coffee anymore. Maybe they're not drinking tea, and maybe they're just using these places as meetings, and to use the Wi-Fi. And maybe it's not such a silly idea. Maybe I'll just write to them in the UK and just say, I've got this amazing sort of thing, and it's really, really good for people. And it could be something that they might want to add to their
Just imagine how many people would benefit, because really made a
absolutely.
huge difference in my own life. So I'm thinking it's a week now, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I feel so much better. I have all this energy. I don't feel tired. I don't feel any of the guilt I used to feel when drinking their coffee.
Yeah, exactly,
So
exactly.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that it will make a huge impact in so many other people's
yeah,
lives, because it's all about making the right choices, as we said
absolutely.
before.
Yeah, and
So socially conscious entrepreneurs, you
mm,
know, like yourself, like everybody in our circles, they have this joyful opportunity to use business as a tool to help others create more and better, healthy life choices, and create a sustainable world for themselves and for the people around them and for their clients. And it's just a new way of thinking.
mm,
We change the way we look at things, and just having simple things, like the coffee mixed with this magic cocktail makes such a huge difference. So you are on a mission, Adrienne, and I really can't wait the day when Starbucks will offer your magic
My magic
formula
potion, my magic
to other
potion.
entrepreneurs.
That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Because it would, as you say, there's nothing harmful, and it's really good for you. And if it gives you energy and makes you feel good, and it helps your, your inside as well, it's got to be a win-win situation. And if Starbucks don't want to do it, then there are actually other coffee chains that I could talk to about it.
Yes.
You know?
You see, we run busy lives, and even when you're retired, you actually become twice busier than before because
Yeah.
everybody needs you. So
Mm,
in our busy lives, we forget most of the time to take time for me time because me
absolutely.
time is all about creating and discovering simple and basic forms of daily abundance, like
Mm,
mixing your own coffee, or just things like cooking your own food, like growing your own food. They're very, very powerful tools that empowers you to feel that you are human, you are alive, you are kicking. All that energy, all that vibration is going out instead of
absolutely.
absorbing, being a needy person. So I was telling you, Adrienne, that recently I visited Bangkok, and I went to see the famous gold statue of Buddha.
Yeah.
And the meaning of story that comes with it made me see a more philosophical sense, because when you start looking into the details of this statue's history, you can see what really happened and how that relate to each one of us. So look at the gigantic gold statue. I was thinking of all the meaning of the story that comes with it, beyond the first layers of being an unique touristic attraction. Is a lot more than that. So I'm referring to the fact that at some point in your life you have to move out of your comfort zone,
Hmm.
facing disappointments, I don't know, maybe the wrong marriage, the financial hardship. Your existing circumstances will shake your life during those movements. And that clay case, similar with the gold statue, will crack, and the daylight will hit the gold version of yourself. So the story in short is that in 1954 in May, when they tried to move the statue, the ropes couldn't sustain the weight, so the big clay statue dropped, and through the cracks they could see something shiny inside, and they took the case, who was protecting the gold statue, and they realized, and that was there for thousands of years. So they realized that actually, is the real gold statue was
Right.
inside.
Yeah.
So what it takes to see your true version, your gold version of yourself, and realize how much the others will value you once they realize who you are. Over to you, Adrienne.
Yeah. I mean, that is such an amazing story, and it's just an amazing metaphor, isn't it? Because we're always talking about me time is an inside job, loving yourself is an inside job, and sometimes we go along and we think everything's okay, and then little cracks appear, and we realize that things aren't right, and because we want to stay in our comfort zone, we don't do anything about it, and then something will happen. Maybe you're in a job and you'll get fired, or maybe you'll be in a relationship that isn't really working, and suddenly something happens. Maybe he meets somebody else and he goes off and leaves you on your own, or you get divorced, or something happens, and that's the crack. And it's at that point that you can either take charge, be the golden version of yourself, or else you say, I'll stay a victim and I'll let all this stuff happen to me. And it takes courage to be able to stand up and say, I don't like the way things are, because it's called the comfort zone for a reason. And it's like the clay Buddha, isn't it? The,
Yes.
the outside version. We show this outside version of ourselves to the world, and we don't want the mask to crack. People say, how are you? And you go, oh, I'm fine, thank you. Everything's wonderful, my life's beautiful, and inside you're dying. And you have to, something will happen, and you've got to wake up and say, life is too short. You have to do what makes your heart sing. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and she said to me, her father had died. She just heard that her father had died really unexpectedly, and I was so sad for her. It was awful, and it just made me realise that we don't know what's going to happen, and we have to just live our lives to the best of our ability, because nobody says on their deathbed, I wish I worked harder. I wish I'd spent less time with my family. It's more, I wish I'd spent more time with my family. I wish I'd spent more time traveling, enjoying myself, doing what I really want to do. And so you have to make the decision, because when the clay Buddha disappears, when the clay you disappears, underneath that is the gold. Underneath there is this awesome, amazing person that you've just got to have the courage and say, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And you have to start loving yourself. And as soon as you start doing that, as soon as you give up the victim mode and say, I'm going to go for this, I'm going to do it. It's not going to be easy, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to show the gold to the world. It doesn't matter how old you are, what your circumstances are. You can change it. You really can. But you have to you've got the choice. We've said this before. It is a choice. And you have to make that decision to stop being a victim. And it can be very hard to move away from situations that aren't serving you, relationships that aren't serving you. Maybe it's a work relationship, maybe it's a personal relationship. And you've just got to take it, just take it and just run with it and say, this is my life and it's going to be the best I can possibly make it. And you have to do that for your own sanity, for your own joy. Because life isn't meant to be a struggle. Life is meant to be fun and joyous. And the more joy that we give out, the more joy we receive back. But it has to start within. You have to start from a place of gratitude, of being grateful for what you've got, of loving yourself and saying, I deserve the very best, and striving for that every single day and doing your very best. And if there are people around you that are draining you emotionally, physically, are not there for you, then you have to be very brave and say, I'm not going to put up with this. And that's where a lot of people fall down, because they don't want to upset the apple cart. They don't want to disturb the status quo. They don't want to make life difficult for somebody else. And often what happens is, when you're being true to yourself and other people see that, they either come along with you and they go, oh my God, that's such a phenomenal example. I'm going to share, I want to do that. I want to be like that. And they join in, and they rejoice for you, and they want to be the best of themselves, or else they go, I can't do that.
So
And
what we are aiming to achieve through our Radio Works Me Time is actually to help you, the listener, when you go and look into the mirror and you see yourself and you think, oh, I don't really like myself. We want to figure out a way to charm you into liking yourself. Yeah. And remember, there is a golden statue inside. There's a gold version of yourself always. Every single one of us is that statue,
yeah,
this gigantic, unknown, priceless value that you can bring it to the world, but you won't bring it out unless you get rid of the clay case and you realize that these cracks, this movement in your life, actually they are not a bad thing. They are the best thing that could happen to you, because now you could, come out yourself, the gold version of yourself. And
exactly.
and many times when you are surrounded by people telling you that, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, just remember that the nature made your ability to listen very selective, as by nature. So if you are determined to believe in yourself and to believe that you can bring the good into other people, and you are good yourself, is just a question of time when your mind is going to acknowledge that you have disability, and it's not a disability, it's an ability
Yeah.
to listen to your better version of yourself, to your gold version. So you know many time I engage with people I never met before. They are quite surprised when I'm talking to them, because they're dressed down or whatever their circumstances might be, and they won't expect a total stranger to come and talk to them. And I was today by the lake, and it was a very young person sitting on the bench, which I meant to go and sit down for a couple of minutes. And I started doing my exercising, and thinking that he's going to go, but it was a very young man, very very sad. It was something sad about him, and I had my magic coffee with me, so I shared. I offered to share it. I said, "This is really magic," and he said, "Oh," and I was telling him about you and your blueprint and how you help so many people around the world. I think he was in his early 20s, but he was too sad for his age. So then he shared his story, and he told me that he shared his tragedy and what happened, and he felt lost. So I said to him, look, the sunshine is up. So as long as the sun is up, today is another day. And today is your chance to listen to reason, to listen to yourself. And I meant to tell him more, but after I said the first sentence, he said, I think you are God sent. I really needed this more than anything. I
Oh,
needed somebody to tell me that it's going to be okay.
oh,
I was
that's
so impressed. And then, you know what? He got like a mandarin or something.
mm,
And he wanted to share that with me, and that was so beautiful, because I knew he lost everything, and
mm,
that was his lunch basically. And the fact that he wanted to share that mandarin with me meant a lot to me. And it just you know start to see the gold version of yourself, no matter what. That
mm.
there are so many people out there that will tell you off, but they are by choice. So you choose the people you are with.
Yes, yes,
And you just need to take a walk in the opposite direction that you usually do, and you will find somebody who can share their good vibrations with you, can see the gold version of you. So it's
exactly.
not as if you are confined into a very restrictive space, and the only people you can deal with are the negative people, the people telling you off, or people letting you down, or people who you know, they try to make decisions for you. So you should not never allow that. You should never allow anyone to make choices for yourself. You are totally capable of making your own choices. Even if they are the wrong choices, they are yours. Make
Yeah,
the decision
absolutely.
to believe in yourself. Make the decision to make your own decision. Don't let anyone to take decisions for you. They will be the wrong ones anyway. Nobody knows your gold version. You are the only one who knows that inside is so much goodness, so much abundance of greatness. You just need to let it shine through.
Yes, yeah, and have the conviction, have the belief, have the faith that it is there, and that's why it has to start with loving yourself. It has to start with believing in yourself. And as you say, whatever your decisions are, we make decisions in all aspects. All sorts of things happen in our lives on a daily basis, and some decisions are, turn out really good, and some don't. But the thing is that what you've got to realize is that when you make your decision, you're making it from the best possible um, belief. This is what you think you ought to be doing, and that's fine. If it doesn't turn out well, it doesn't turn out well. But you can't go back and say, oh, that was a bad decision, because at the time you made the decision on what you knew. And if other circumstances happen and it turns out not very good for you, then rather than, because a lot of people will go, oh, it's my luck, oh, I shouldn't have done that, oh, blah, 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 blah. If you say, I did the best with what I knew at the time, I made the best decision for what my situation was and for the information I had at the time, I did the best thing I possibly could. And if you believe that and you tell yourself that, and every time you make a decision, whether it's, having another bar of chocolate, or, going out with somebody, or going, doing whatever you have to do, whether it's a little decision, whether it's, driving that way to work, or, taking that bus, or something really, really big. You're making those decisions for, they say that successful people make decisions quickly, and yet unsuccessful people make decisions very, very slowly. They and they are, and they go, oh, shall I do this? Shall I do that? And then by the time it comes to it, the whole situation is sort of maybe diffused, or it's changed, and they're still making a decision because they're frightened of doing wrong. And I think fear is one of the worst things imaginable. We just have to say, you know what? I'm going to do the best I can. And that's all anybody can expect. That's all you can expect of yourself, to do the very best you can every single day, because this golden version of yourself is inside, and you've got to find it. You've got to be able to use it, and you've got to be able to uncover it, so that it shines out, and it shines out to other people. And when other people see it, you will attract everything, absolutely everything that you want, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's whatever it is that you want, good health, anything and everything. Because once your golden essence is out there, shining out on the world, it will just be brought back to you, because people will want to be with you. People will want to spend time with you. And you will want to spend time with yourself. And the more you do, the more you'll want to do. But it has to start from a place of appreciation, a place of gratitude of what you've already got, of saying, I've got this, and I love myself. I love and approve of myself every single day. You have to do that. and the decisions that I make today, okay, I'm going to make them. I'm not going to and ah. I'm going to make this decision. And tomorrow, if I should have made another decision, well, maybe I'll make another decision tomorrow. But today, I'm going to do what I think is best for me today. And that's the only thing you can do. And you just have to go on believing that and uncover this golden being inside, because there is so much inside you, so much potential and awesomeness and beauty that needs to come out and to be shared with the world. And as I say, when you're sharing it, when you really come from a place of beauty and love, and all you want to do is just share yourself with the world, then you will be amazed at the miracles that will happen in your life.
The same way, Adrienne, like, sorry to interrupt, it's just the same way, because I meant to say this. So this statue, which was apparently made in clay, was sitting there for 20 years. They had no idea where to put it, what to do, and eventually they had to build a road or something, and they had to move it. So once they realized how much it's worth, they even built the whole building around it.
Oh my God.
So now it's a big touristic attraction, and not only that,
I think is it in it's in Bangkok, you said?
yes, it is, yes. So I remember, I think Steve Jobs, I'm sure he's the one who said that you have to trust in something, your gut, your destiny, your life, karma, whatever it is, because unless you have this approach to life, you can't complain, you can't blame anyone. So we know that is no one to be blamed for your own unwillingness to shine through. Because I also believe that failure and mediocrity, they don't exist. They're artificial concepts. Because you are mediocre by choice. You have that clay case all around you. All that takes is for you to shine through. It's a choice.
Of course it is. Of course it is. As is good health, as is good relationships. They are choices. They are absolute choices. And I just love this analogy of this golden being inside all of us. I think it is just so perfect. It really is. I think it's wonderful. It's amazing. And I think the more people that realize it, and once you realize it, then you have to do something about it. You can't just realize it and then sort of go on like you are normally, because it's so exciting, to think that there's this golden being inside, and it's like, well, how can I bring it out? How can I show the world this golden person inside? And so you're going to, as soon as you believe that, as soon as you see it for its truth, then you will start working on yourself and realize that, you can be the best you can possibly be. You can be this bright, shiny, gold, amazing person. And it's exciting because every little bit you work away and you find another bit, because I'm sure the whole the whole Buddha didn't appear at once. It was just like, oh my God, they saw a little bit. And then they started bashing away at the clay. And then gradually, the whole Buddha appeared. But it was like little bits at a time, because they had to be really careful, because they couldn't just break it, because they could have broken the golden statue underneath, which would have been awful. So they had to be really, really, really careful. So that's what we do. We get rid of little things at a time, little limiting beliefs. We get rid of that one, and we get rid of this one, and we get rid of that one. And as we're working away, a bit more of the gold will show, and a bit more of the gold will show, until gradually all there is this awesome being. But we're all a work in progress. So it's gonna, there's always something to discover about yourself, always something to improve, to find, to believe in. but it's so exciting to be able to do that. Oh, look, I found a little golden nugget today. Oh, look, I didn't know I could do that. Didn't know I could do that. And then you just little bits. And, you know, I always say this, you know, step by step, it's like baby steps. And it's the same thing. You're just whittling away at this clay surround. And then you're just every day there's a bit more to shine out. There's a bit more that you discover, a bit more that you can share with the world. You know, oh look, I can do this. Oh look, I can do that. And gradually, you know, people are going to go, oh my God, you know, I want what she's on.
And you know what, Adrienne, you are so right. And it is contagious, you know, like success, like all great things, your gold version is contagious. Other people will feel inspired to shine through, you know. So I think it's to do with the basic of any relationship. Doesn't matter it's with yourself or with the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams. So I read this somewhere, and I know I put in my latest book about great conversations about love. Somebody said that to become the woman of your dreams, no, sorry, you have to become the woman of your dreams to attract the man of your dreams. So it's so true. It's like for like, and it's this version. I like to think about. You know, words, and it's a beautiful word, version. Yes, so version. So a version means it's anytime you could come up with something better, with a better version. So it's not as if you have a limited amount of versions, best versions of yourself. You could improve every single time you become aware of your power, you become aware of your greatness, you become aware of how abundant you are, and how you could simply talking with a total stranger who was probably suicidal. He walked, he left that young man, and he was transformed. I could see him shining, or before he was hidden under the he got a hoodie, and he was like, you know, looking down, and I was thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with him, you know? But instead of, I just could not let him go away. I had to offer him my magic coffee. And I was so happy that I had this magic coffee to break the ice and start talking to him about something. You know, the little talk, the little chat, like Chinese, they're experts in, you know, in this little chat. They'll talk to you about everything, and, you know, it's nothing very important, but it's so important because they know, they get to know you, and this is how they connect. So just having this topic of the magic coffee, you know, I was able to help him without even knowing. So it's your magic recipe that made me, because otherwise I would have been thinking, oh my God, how can I approach him, you know?
I'm sure you would have thought of something. But do you know what? It's just like, if you're walking along, I saw somebody today, and she looked so unhappy, and she was sitting opposite me on the train, and I just looked up. I was reading, and I looked up, and she had this really sad face, and I thought, it's Friday, you know, if she's going home from work, hasn't she got things to look forward to? And I just gave her a smile, and I just smiled at her, and she sort of almost looked away, and then she sort of looked back and very shyly smiled at me. And I was like, that just made me feel great. And I don't know whether she thought I was, you know, weird or mad or whatever, but I didn't really care. But I just thought, I just really I wanted to sit like you did with the boy. I actually wanted to go and say to her, what's the matter? I really wanted to know, because she looked more than fed up. She looked unhappy, and I was like, but it's Friday, and you're young and pretty, and you know, and it's like, you can't tell. You look at people from the outside, you see the outside, and it's like, people put on this front, and it's really so sad, because I think that so many people walk around in this little bubble of unhappiness and as you say, mediocrity. and they don't know that there's something better out there. And they don't, and even if they did know, they wouldn't know how to go about it and get it. And that is so very sad. And so by sharing a smile, which costs me nothing, I hopefully, made her feel a bit better. I don't know if I did, because she might have just got off the train. I mean, I got off before her, but she might have got off and thought, still felt as bad, or she might have thought, oh, that mad woman smiled at me, which would be lovely.
I'm sure it did, Adrienne, because it is contagious. So your gold version is contagious and makes an impact on the people you connect with, and
Exactly.
because you found yourself and you are just that, and that's marvelous. Like I think Coco Chanel said, let me remember, because sometimes my memory it's mixing with I'm not very good with names, but I'm sure it was Coco Chanel, and she said that beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself.
Yeah.
So that beauty, that gold version of yourself, it's
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
there. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not conditioned on by anyone. It's just you. It's you
Exactly.
to find yourself and be that. Just be
Exactly.
yourself, and
Yeah.
don't be afraid of you know sharing that with total strangers, because you are there for a reason.
Mm. Exactly. Exactly.
No
And
accident.
Oscar Wilde said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken."
I love
Which
that
is so,
one.
which is so lovely. I mean, we have individual fingerprints, and every single person is unique. We are totally unique beings.
That
And
the
isn't
color, Adrian, that the color of your eye doesn't matter if you have blue eyes or brown eyes, it's unique to you. There are not two colors, two eyes, like two
yeah,
people with the
yeah.
same exact eye color. Doesn't matter, the
Wow.
eyes are brown, and they look alike. They are different.
Oh, I didn't know
That's unique to each person, the same way that the fingertips are. So we've been created so uniquely wonderful, and all our I know that my imperfections are perfect. so so it's not a question of trying to impress anyone. It's not a question of creating that uh, clay case just in case people won't like you, so you have to make it such a way that looks perfect even if it's clay. I don't
Mm,
care, I don't really care about what other people think of me. I found my gold version, and I'm just that. So
mm,
start
exactly.
thinking that way. It will help you help others, and not only see the greatness within, but also sharing and being contagious. And I really believe, Adrienne, that the best kept secret of our lives, of living your life with purpose, is sharing. So as long as
Absolutely.
I can,
Absolutely.
you know brief, I will share. That's my life mission, and I will share your recipes, your magic blueprints, and everything I know I will share, because that at some point is meant to help somebody else who cannot meet you, but I had the chance of meeting that person and passing on that piece of unique information which was needed
Yes.
in that moment in time by that person.
Mm, exactly. And it's when you're sharing, if you hold yourself back, if you don't find your inner gold, if you like, then you can't enrich other people. There was something I was reading the other day about somebody who's worth an absolute fortune. I mean, billions and billions and billions, and what he was doing about helping, underprivileged something or other. And I just, and I actually thought to myself, people think that you can only, that you can help people by, when you're rich you can help people, but even if you're not rich, when you're rich inside with ideas and thoughts, and as you say, sharing love, it's just love for humanity, just wanting the best for everybody. I got a passion just to, you know, yours is to share, and I guess mine's the same sort of thing. But I want to help people. I want to show people how they can find their inner goals. I want the best for everybody. And I think when you do that, then you become rich. It's nothing to do with, you know, pounds in the bank, dollars in the bank, whatever. It's all to do with how you feel. And when you do that, when you find the gold nuggets and you see that you've got so much to offer, because I think a lot of people don't think that they're worthy. They don't think that they've got anything to offer, and that's when it's the problems start. And so once they can get rid of that, and once they can start chipping away at that clay outer shell, and they can find that gold inside, and realize how wonderful and how much they've got to share. And it could just be a smile, it could be a hug, it could be, you know, just telling a joke, it could just be with being with somebody, holding somebody's hand. It's, you know, it could just be being there for somebody, because we've all got that inside us. And once we appreciate that that's what we've got inside us, then we can go on to being better and better and helping more and more people. And that's when it starts coming back, because people see that there's this gold and they want to share it. They want to share it too.
So in other words, Adrienne, all these challenges we are facing on daily basis, you never know what's around the corner, and there's always something, and there's always you have to turn that, to create that ability to turn the challenge into an opportunity. And you learn all the time, and you become wiser, and you start to actually understand what you know, because you know too much anyway. But once you understand the value of what you know and how that could create better life choices for the people who need them, it's a total different topic. You know, we are talking about your gold version, the gold version of yourself, and that's gigantic. It's makes you see the meaning of life, makes you see, because you have the life mission. It's always hard to locate, because people are so talented, they have so many skills, and they have access to so much information. Is overwhelming, and they're thinking, oh my god, everybody knows so much, what do I know? But once you understand what you know and you start sharing, you never know who is going to change your life because of what you shared. You never know.
Absolutely.
And it's always a point where, like you said, you have to learn this magic little tools to use them on a daily basis, like a smile, or sharing a magic recipe, you know, with total strangers, who are basically in control of the next big thing. So just imagine that all the discoveries, all the performing acts of greatness in the world, they were discovered for a reason. And it's like Steve Jobs created this big screen for the phone, and that changed the world actually. But his dream was actually to have a computer for each one of us. And look at us now, we all have everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. More technology than we know what to do with. Yeah, definitely. That's perfect. Yeah, it's very, very good. What happened? Are we still on air? What's happened? Ooh, what's happened? Hello? Oh, hello. Huh. What happened? Did we just drop off? What happened? Oh, we're just in the middle of everything.
Hello. Yay! I don't know what happened.
That was so weird. There I was in full flow, and suddenly it was dead. Okay, the wonders of modern science, eh?
Yes.
Technology, I love it, especially when
Yeah,
it
so,
works.
so we could have part two of our conversation anyway. So I will start at I will count and then we'll start. So
Okay.
okay, 3, 2, 1.